Hello friends, my name is Ankit Dalela, Assistant Professor, BBD University, Lucknow. We will be studying the subject microprocessor and interfacing. We are in the second module. Our topic today will be multiple interrupts and priorities. Note that the opcodes for the different RST instructions follow a set pattern. Bit D5, D4 and D3 of the opcodes change in a binary sequence from RST7 down to RST0. The other bits are always 1. This allows the code generated by the 74366 to be used directly to choose the appropriate RST instruction. The one drawback to this scheme is that the only way to change the priority of the devices connected to the 74366 is to reconnect the hardware. This is the layout of multiple interrupts and priority. The 8085 can be thought of as having 5 internal interrupt signals that correspond to the 5 external interrupt pins. Only when the internal interrupt signal is activated, the 8085 gets interrupted, provided higher priority internal interrupt signals are not active at the same time. The 8085 checks all these internal interrupt signals in the penultimate clock cycle of the last machine cycle of an instruction. There is a flip-flop in 8085 called IE flip-flop. Here IE stands for interrupt enable. Whenever this flip-flop is reset to the 0 state, 8085 interrupt system is disabled. That is, even if an external interrupt pin is activated, the corresponding internal interrupt signal is not activated. This can be seen when from the figure, which provides the internal architecture of 8085 interrupt structure. From this figure, it can also be noticed that this flip-flop state has nothing to do with the internal interrupt signal corresponding to trap. Trap is a non-maskable interrupt. It means whenever the external trap pin is activated, the corresponding internal interrupt signal is always activated. Trap is also the highest priority interrupt. The IE flip-flop is reset to the 0 state in following 3 conditions: execution of DI instruction, recognition of an interrupt request, and a resetting of 8085. The DI instruction stands for disable interrupt. It is a 1-byte instruction. When this instruction is executed, the IE flip-flop is reset. This disables the 8085 interrupt system except for the trap pin. When the 8085 recognizes an interrupt, it branches to an ISS. By recognition, we mean that an internal interrupt signal is activated and higher priority internal interrupt signals are not active. In the ISS, the 8085 would not like to be interrupted again. That is the reason as to why the 8085 will place itself in DI state when it recognizes an interrupt. Trap can still interrupt an ISS. Thus, when the control is transferred to an ISS, interrupt system is disabled automatically. Accordingly, there is no need for the programmer to write a DI instruction at the beginning of an ISS. Whether the programmer writes a DI instruction at the beginning of an ISS or not, interrupt system remains disabled except for trap. Intel 8085 has a reset in pin. This is an active low input pin. The 8085 is reset by placing a logic 0 on this pin for at least 0.5 microseconds after power is supplied to VCC pin of 8085. When the system is already powered and running, sometimes we need to reset the 8085. There is no need to switch off and then switch on to the reset to reset the 8085. Some of the important actions performed by the 8085 when it is reset are: number 1, PC contents becomes 0000H, IR contents becomes 00H. All interrupts except trap are disabled by resetting the IE flip-flop. RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5 interrupts are masked. SOD pin output becomes RST 7.5 flip-flop will be reset to 0. The 8085 has 4 masked or vector interrupt inputs. These are RST 5.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5. Both RST 5.5 and RST 6.5 pins are level sensitive inputs. RST 6.5 has a higher priority than RST 5.5. RST 5.5 in turn has higher priority than INTR. The function of RST 5.5 and RST 6.5 are very similar. These pins should remain high till the 8085 checks all the internal interrupt signals at about the end of an instruction. RST 5.5 and RST 6.5 internal interrupt signals are activated only when these external interrupt pins are in logic 1 state. IE flip-flop is in logic 1 state. These interrupts are not masked by the SIM instruction. The 8085 gets interrupted because of RST 5.5 or RST 6.5 pin only if the following conditions are met. Number 1, RST 5.5 and RST 6.5 internal interrupt signal is active. Higher priority internal interrupt signals are not active. If these conditions are not met, even though RST 5.5 or RST 6.5 pins are activated, the 8085 does not get interrupted. In such a case, these pins should remain high till these conditions are met in order to interrupt the 8085. As we always start with a reset of 8085 because of the switching on of the microcomputer system, all interrupts except trap are disabled to start with. So if we want these pins to interrupt the 8085, it is necessary that we have EI instruction in our program. The interrupt system will then be enabled after executing the next instruction after EI. RST 7.5 pin is an edge sensitive input. This is used by peripherals that send a pulse rather than a sustained high level for interrupting the processor. Internal to 8085, there is a flip-flop connected to RST 7.5 interrupt pin. This flip-flop is set to 1 when a positive going edge occurs on RST 7.5 input. The waveform of RST 7.5 pin and Q output of RST 7.5 flip-flop is like a square. RST 7.5 internal interrupt signal is activated only when Q output of RST 7.5 flip-flop is at logic 1. IE flip-flop is in logic 1 state. RST 7.5 interrupt is not masked by SIM instruction. The 8085 gets interrupted because of RST 7.5 pin only if RST 7.5 internal interrupt signal is active and trap internal interrupt signal is not active. If these conditions are not met, even though a rising edge occurs on RST 7.5 pin, the 8085 does not get interrupted. As we always start with a reset of 8085 because of the switching on of the microcomputer system, all interrupts except trap are disabled to start with. So if we want RST 7.5 pin to interrupt the 8085, it is necessary that we have EI instruction in our program. The interrupt system will then be enabled after executing the next instruction after EI. RST 7.5 is a vectored interrupt in 8085. By this we mean that the 8085 knows by itself the starting address of the ISS. It is 003CH. The action taken by 8085 when RST 7.5 is activated has already been told. Generally at location 003CH, we will not have the ISS. There is no pin of 8085 that can be used to reset the RST 7.5 flip-flop. So RST 7.5 flip-flop has to be reset by software. The SIM instruction is used to reset the RST 7.5 flip-flop. Trap is a non-maskable interrupt. This implies that whenever this pin is activated, the 8085 will always get interrupted. Even if the 8085 is in DI state, trap input is both edge and level sensitive. Thus, the trap line must make a transition from 0 to 1 and must remain in one state till the end of the execution of an instruction in order to interrupt the 8085. These three interrupts are masked at two levels through the interrupt enable flip-flop and the EIDI instructions. The interrupt enable flip-flop controls the whole maskable interrupt process through individual mask flip-flops that control the availability of the individual interrupts. These flip-flops control the interrupts individually. So here you can see the figure of INTR, RST 5.5, 6.5 and 7.5. Trap is the highest level interrupt. INTR is an active high pin. This is having the lowest priority. It can interrupt the 8085 only if the 8085 is not required to service any other interrupt at the same time. It is a level sensitive input. The line should remain high till the 8085 checks the internal interrupt signal corresponding to INTR at about the end of an instruction. The INTR internal interrupt signal is activated only when INTR pin is in logic 1 state and IE flip-flop is in logic 1 state. If these conditions are not met, even though INTR pin is activated, the 8085 does not get interrupted. In such a case, the INTR line should remain high till the above conditions are met in order to interrupt the 8085. We always start with a reset of the 8085 because of the switching on of the microcomputer system. Thus, all interrupts except trap are disabled to start with. So, if we want INTR pin activation to interrupt the 8085, it is necessary that we have EI instruction in our program. The interrupt system will then be enabled after executing the next instruction after EI. INTR is a non-vector interrupt in 8085. By this we mean that 8085 does not know by itself the starting address of the ISS. It has to be provided to the 8085 by an external input-output port or an interrupt controller like IC 8259. It is assumed that interrupt system is enabled using EI instruction and higher priority internal interrupt signals are not active. In the penultimate clock cycle of the last machine cycle of every instruction, the 8085 senses all the internal interrupt signals. If the INTR internal signal is at logic 1, the 8085 enters an interrupt acknowledge machine cycle. The interrupt from the input-output port is acknowledged by the 8085 by activating INTA bar pin in the T2 state of the INA machine cycle. 8085 maskable vectored interrupt process. The interrupt process should be enabled using EI instruction. The 8085 checks for an interrupt during the execution of every instruction. If there is an interrupt and if the interrupt is enabled, If the interrupt is enabled using the interrupt mask, the microprocessor will complete the executing instruction and reset the interrupt flip-flop. The microprocessor then executes a call instruction that sends the execution to the appropriate location in the interrupt vector table. When the microprocessor executes the call instruction, it saves the address of the next instruction on the stack. The microprocessor jumps to the specific service routine. The service routine must include the instruction EI to re-enable the interrupt process. At the end of the service routine, the RET or a return instruction returns the execution to where the program was interrupted. Manipulating the mask. Let us say 8085 has been interrupted because of RST 6.5 pin and has branched to the ISS or RST 6.5. Then even without DI instruction at the beginning of this ISS, all the interrupts except trap are disabled. So even if RST 7.5 pin is activated in the middle of the execution of RST 6.5 ISS, the 8085 will not get interrupted because of RST 7.5. Actually, RST 7.5 is a higher priority interrupt, but now it cannot interrupt the lower priority ISS of RST 6.5. This problem can be solved using the concept of masking of interrupts. It provides the ability to selectively disable the interrupts. An interrupt pin that is masked cannot interrupt even if the interrupt pin is activated, and interrupts are in general enabled using EI instruction. Similarly, an interrupt pin that is unmasked can interrupt even when the interrupt pin is activated, and interrupts are in general enabled using EI instruction. Thus, all that is needed to prevent RST 5.5 from interrupting RST 6.5 ISS while allowing RST 7.5 to interrupt the RST 6.5 ISS is enable the interrupt system using EI instruction, mask RST 7.5 so that it cannot interrupt the ISS, unmask the RST 7.5 so that it can interrupt the ISS. The interrupt enable flip-flop is manipulated using the EI and DI instruction. The individual mask of RST 5.5, RST 6.5 and RST 7.5 are manipulated using the SIM instruction. This instruction takes the bit pattern in the accumulator and applies it to the interrupt mask, enabling and disabling the specific interrupts. SIM stands for Set Interrupt Mask. It is a single byte instruction. Each of the instructions of 8085 that we have come across so far have a single purpose. But the SIM instruction is a multi-purpose instruction. It is used for masking or unmasking of RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5. Reset 0 RST 7.5 flip-flop and perform serial output of data. When SIM instruction is executed, how does the 8085 know which interrupt is to be masked or unmasked? The contents of the accumulator decides the action to be taken. Thus, it is essential to load the accumulator with the desired value before SIM instruction is executed. Note that except bit 5, which is don't care bit, the other bits of the accumulator decide the effect of executing the SIM instruction. Masking of interrupts, only the LS4 bits of the accumulator are used for masking or unmasking of interrupts. Bit 3. This is the mask set enable bit. If this bit is 0, SIM instruction is not being used for masking or unmasking of interrupts. In such a case, the LS3 bits of the accumulator are not having any useful information. If MSE bit is equal to 1, the SIM instruction is used for masking or unmasking of interrupts. Then the LS3 bit provides information about masking or unmasking of interrupts. Bit 2. This is mask RST 7.5 bit. This bit is meaningful only if MSE bit is equal to 1. If MSE is equal to 1 and 7.5 is equal to 0, RST 7.5 is unmasked. If MSE is equal to 1 and M 7.5 is equal to 1, RST 7.5 is masked. Bit 1. This is M 6.5 bit used for masking or unmasking of RST 6.5, similar to M 7.5 bit. Bit 0. This is M 5.5 bit used for masking or unmasking of RST 5.5, similar to RST 7.5 bit. It may be noted that only RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5 can be masked or unmasked using SIM instruction. TRAP and INTR cannot be masked or unmasked using SIM instruction. TRAP is not allowed to be masked because it is the highest priority interrupt. INTR does not need the facility of masking because it is the lowest priority interrupt. After a reset of 8085, RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5 interrupts will be in masked condition. The individual mask of RST 5.5, RST 6.5 and RST 7.5 are manipulated using the SIM instruction. Now how SIM interprets the accumulator, this we have seen. Bit 0 is the mask for RST 5.5, bit 1 is the mask for RST 6.5 and bit 2 is the mask for RST 7.5. Bit 3 mask set enable is an enable for setting the mask. RST 7.5 interrupt is the only 8085 interrupt that has memory. If a signal of RST 7.5 arrives while it is masked, a flip-flop will remember the signal. When RST 7.5 is unmasked, the microprocessor will be interrupted even if the device has removed the interrupt signal. This flip-flop will be automatically reset when the microprocessor responds to an RST 7.5 interrupt. Bit 4 of the accumulator in the SIM instruction allows explicitly resetting the RST 7.5 memory even if the microprocessor did not respond to it. The SIM instruction can also be used to perform serial data transmission out of the 8085's SOD pin. SOD means serial output of data. Intel 8085 is an 8-bit processor. It normally sends or receives 8 bits of data at a time. This is known as 8-bit parallel data transfer. In some situations, it may not be practical to perform parallel data transfer. Suppose data is to be transmitted over telephone lines, then the 8-bit parallel data will have to be sent out in serial form, one bit after the other. Also, we are required to perform serial data transfer when the processor needs to communicate with a serial device like mouse. Serial communication is much cheaper because the data transfer takes place on a single line instead of the 8 lines needed in parallel data transfer. However, the speed of communication in serial format is much slower compared with parallel communication. Very few microprocessors provide for on-chip serial communication facility, and one of them is 8085. Intel 8085 provides serial output of data pin called SOD pin and SIM instruction to facilitate serial output of data, from where inside the 8085 does a single bit of information come out on the SOD pin. The MS bit of the accumulator comes out of the SOD pin when the user commands the 8085 to send out the data. The user commands the 8085 to send out the MS bit of accumulator by making bit 6 of accumulator as 1 and executing the SIM instruction. Bit 6 is the serial output enable bit. If this bit is equal to 0, SIM instruction is not being used for serial output of data. In such a case, the MS bit of accumulator is not having any useful information. If SOE bit is equal to 1, the SIM instruction is used for serial output of data. Then the MS bit provides the data to be sent out on the SOD pin of 8085. Bit 7 is the serial output bit or SOD bit. This bit is meaningful only if SOE bit is equal to 1. If SOE equal to 1 and SIM instruction is executed, then the SOD bit comes out on the SOD pin of 8085. Suppose we have some 8-bit data in the B register and we want to send it out serially on the SOD pin starting from the LS bit. Then we have to execute a program that does the following. Bring to MS bit of accumulator a bit from the B register starting from the LS bit. Set to 1 bit 6 of the accumulator. Execute the SIM instruction. Repeat these steps 8 times in a loop. And next is the RIM instruction. Triggering levels. RIM stands for Read Interrupt Mask. It is a single byte instruction like SIM instruction. The RIM instruction is also a multi-purpose instruction. It is used for the following things: to check whether RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5 are masked or not, to check whether interrupts are enabled or not, to check whether RST 5.5, RST 6.5 or RST 5.5 interrupts are pending or not, to perform serial input of data. In other words, RIM instruction provides status information about interrupt system and is also used for serial input of data. When RIM instruction is executed, the contents of the accumulator after the execution of the RIM instruction provide this information. Thus, it is essential to look into the accumulator contents after the RIM instruction is executed. Mask status of interrupts. The LS3 bit of the accumulator are used to provide mask status of interrupts. Note that they are not used for masking or unmasking. Masking or unmasking has to be done using the SIM instruction. Bit 0 is mask RST 5.5 or M5.5 bit. If this bit is equal to 1, it means that RST 5.5 interrupt has been masked. If M5.5 is equal to 0, RST 5.5 interrupt is unmasked. Bit 1. Bit 1 is mask RST 6.5 or M6.5 bit. If this bit is equal to 1, it means that RST 6.5 interrupt has been masked. If M6.5 is equal to 0, RST 6.5 interrupt is unmasked. Bit 2. Bit 2 is mask RST 5.5 or M7.5 bit. If this bit is equal to 1, it means that RST 7.5 interrupt has been masked. If M7.5 is equal to 0, RST 7.5 interrupt is unmasked. Bit 3 of the accumulator provides the status of IE flip-flop after the RIM instruction is executed. If IE is equal to 1, it means that the interrupt system is enabled. This will be the situation if EI instruction is executed sometime prior to the RIM instruction. If IE is equal to 0, it means that the interrupt system is disabled. This will be the situation if sometime prior to execution of the RIM instruction, one of the following things have occurred. Number 1, DI instruction was executed. Number 2, Intel 8085 has been reset. And number 3, Intel 8085 has entered an interrupt service subroutine. Bit 4. This is interrupt pending RST 5.5 or IP 5.5 bit. If this bit is equal to 1, it means that RST 5.5 interrupt is pending or waiting to be serviced. This will be the situation when RST 5.5 interrupt pin is activated, but RST 5.5 is masked or the interrupt system is disabled. If IP 5.5 is equal to 0, the RST 5.5 interrupt is not pending. Bit 5. This is interrupt pending RST 6.5 or IP 6.5 bit. If this bit is equal to 1, it means that RST 6.5 interrupt is pending or waiting to be serviced. If IP 6.5 is equal to 0, the RST 6.5 interrupt is not pending. Bit 6. This is interrupt pending RST 7.5 or IP 7.5 bit. If this bit is equal to 1, it means that RST 7.5 interrupt is pending or waiting to be serviced. If IP 7.5 is equal to 0, the RST 7.5 interrupt is not pending. We have seen the utility of serial communication. Intel 8085 provides SID pin and RIM instruction to facilitate serial input of data. Bit 7. Bit 7 is SID bit. After the RIM instruction is executed, the data on the SID pin of 8085 gets loaded into this bit position. Suppose that a serial device is sending some 8-bit data in a serial fashion, starting with the LS bit first. Let us say we want to receive this information on the SID pin serially and store it in the B register. Then we have to execute a program that does the following. Execute the RIM instruction, move the MS bit of the accumulator to a bit position in the B register starting from the LS bit. Repeat these steps 8 times in a loop. So read interrupt mask is the RIM instruction which loads the accumulator with an 8-bit pattern showing the status of each interrupt pin and mask. So this is how the RIM sets the accumulators different bits. Bit 0 to 2 shows the current setting of the mask for each of RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5. They return the contents of the 3 mask flip-flops. They can be used by a program to read the mask settings in order to modify only the right mask. Bit 3 shows whether the maskable interrupt process is enabled or not. It returns the contents of the interrupt enable flip-flop. It can be used by a program to find out whether or not interrupts are enabled. Bit 4 to 6 show whether or not there are pending interrupts on RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5. Bits 4 and 5 return the current value of the RST 5.5 and RST 6.5 pins. Bit 6 returns the current value of the RST 7.5 memory flip-flop. Bit 7 is used for serial data input. The RIM instruction reads the value of the SID pin on the microprocessor and returns it in this bit. Pending interrupts. Since the 8085 has 5 interrupt lines, the interrupts may occur during the ISR and remain pending. Using the RIM instruction, the programmer can read the status of the interrupt lines and find if there are any pending interrupts. The advantage is being able to find about the interrupts on RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5 without having to enable low-level interrupts like INTR. Using RIM and SIM to set individual masks. Example, set the mask to enable RST 6.5 without modifying the mask of RST 5.5 and RST 7.5. In order to do this correctly, we need to use the RIM instruction to find the current setting of the RST 5.5 and RST 7.5 mask. Then we can use the SIM instruction to set the mask using this information. Given that both RIM and SIM use the accumulator, we can use some logical operations to mask the unneeded values returned by RIM and turn them into the values needed by the SIM. Using RIM and SIM to set individual masks. Assume the RST 5.5 and RST 7.5 are enabled and the interrupt process is disabled. Now RIM, read the current settings. ORI 08H orders the instruction of 08 and the value of accumulator. ANI 0DH does the AND operation of the bits of accumulator and 0DH. Thus, it turns off the serial data, don't reset RST 7.5 flip-flop and set the mask for RST 6.5 off. Don't cares are assumed to be 0. And the same instruction applies the settings. Trap. Trap is the only non-maskable interrupt. It does not need to be enabled because it cannot be disabled. It has the highest priority amongst interrupts. It is edge and level sensitive. It needs to be high and stay high to be recognized. Once it is recognized, it won't be recognized again until it goes low, then high again. Trap is usually used for power failure or emergency shutoff. Internal interrupt priority. Internally, the 8085 implements an interrupt priority scheme. The interrupts are ordered as follows: trap, RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5, and INTR. However, trap has lower priority than the HLD signal used for DMA. The 8085 interrupts. So these are the interrupt names. They are maskable or not maskable. Their masking methods. They are vectored or not. Memory used or not. Triggering method. So INTR is maskable and it can be masked using DI and EI. It is non-vectored and uses no memory, and it is level sensitive triggered. RST 5.5 and 6.5 are maskable. They can be masked using EI, DI, and SIM instruction. They are vectored and level sensitive. RST 7.5 is again maskable using DI, EI, and SIM. This is also vectored. It uses memory and it is edge sensitive. Trap is non-maskable. It cannot be masked by any method. It is vectored and it is level and edge sensitive. Now let's come to the last topics of this module, module 2. There are some more processors. Pentium Pro. It is a 6th generation x86 based processor developed and manufactured by Intel. It was introduced in November 1, 1995. The range of applications, respectively, the Pentium Pro contained of 5.5 million transistors. This is the only processor from the Pentium 2 family that didn't have MMX instructions. Intel Pentium 2. It was introduced on May 7, 1997. The clock speed is 233 to 450 MHz. It has 7.5 million transistors at 0.35 micrometers. It executes 333 MIPS, million instructions per second. L2 cache and processor were on one circuit. Pentium 4. Pentium 4 was introduced in 2000. Latest Pentium architecture started out with a 400 MHz system base and 256 KB L2 cache, later increased to 800 MHz and 2 MB. The first models contained 42 million transistors, used the 0.18 micron process, and came in 423 pin and 478 pin PGA packages. Intel's first Pentium 4 chipset was the 850 and supported only Rambus memory, RDRAM, but subsequent chipsets switched to DDR and SDRAM. So by this we conclude the session and the module 2 is complete.